Hey there, YouTube. Broken Stoic here, coming at you with the patch notes for the hero's journey. These babies are going to be released with Velious, and I just want to go over these things real quick so we don't have a lot of time. Let's roll right in. So first and foremost, they are adding the pet bags in as a way to simplify pets and the way that gear goes around. Right now, there's about three different ways that you interact with your pets, meaning that some pets you give them the item, some pets you put them in a bag, some pets, they won't give you items back. Some of them do give you items back, and it's just confusing and it's a nightmare. I think the admin are replacing items all day, every day, because people are losing items to this kind of weird system. So they're simplifying it. They're creating 4 slot bags for all pet classes, and essentially you will be able to put whatever you want in those slots, and then boom, that's what your pet gets. Pretty simplified, pretty easy. Alternatively, if you don't use the bag at all, you can just give your pet weapons. If you do this, the pet weapons that you give them, if the pet dies, they're gone. You don't get them back. You don't see them back. Or the enchanter pets, if the pet dies while it's charmed, then there's no corpse. You can't get anything. Otherwise, it goes back to the original EverQuest style, which is essentially you give the pet the items and then you uncharm them and kill them and then loot all the items off them. Pretty cut and dry. They've also reworked NPC hand-ins as a whole to also help prevent the idea that items are getting lost. And therefore, what you're going to do is if you try to give an NPC an item that they don't want, or maybe they don't actually have that quest, something to that extent, they're just going to give you the item back. They will no longer accept items that have nothing to do with them or that they don't need. So we already kind of talked about this, but charmed pets will no longer hand back items given to them. So just be aware, they're not just going to throw an item back to you. If you give them the item, they will keep that item forever and for always. Unless they die, then you can loot the item back off them, just like you can on the old style. Alternatively, you can use the Synchro Satchel, and that satchel is going to allow you to put the items in, and they'll just auto-equip to your charmed pet when you charm them. Moving on, the bug fixes. They corrected a bug applying spell damage and crit incorrectly to pets. They have corrected a bug preventing heal amount from being applied to pet procs. They have corrected a bug preventing spell damage from being applied to pet dot procs. They have also corrected that pets using 2-hand weapons will no longer reduce added damage by half. So this means that white damage has gone up a lot, and with some of these really nice pet crit changes, you are going to notice your pet's white damage is through the moon now. It's pretty amazing. We tested it out on the test server. It is by far just mind-blowing. In addition to this, when you log out and you have something like whatever pet, doesn't really matter, they will no longer be deleted if you don't log out during a server restart. That's what was causing it. A lot of people were losing the dragon teeth. I think that this was a big hardship on the admin, having to try to replace these and go through all these tickets. So it is no longer going to be happening. They fixed it. Happy day for everybody. No rent temporary bags should now correctly be replaced by their disenchanted version instead of destroying their contents, meaning it will no longer poof when you log out. It'll just turn into a really heavy bag with all the items still inside. Again, in an effort to prevent all these tickets flooding in about people losing their items. Super, super awesome. Some adjustments. Pets now inherit 50% of their owner's spell damage, heal amount, critical spell damage, and critical healing procs spells. This is pretty massive. When we were messing around on the test server, it displayed very, very powerful, very, very great, especially since you can duplicate by putting some of this stuff on your pets, and then they also gain your stats. Very, very strong. Pets with 2-handed weapons equipped no longer equip an offhand. This was happening. You were able to put an item in the offhand. Even if it was a weapon, they wouldn't necessarily swing it, but they would gain the stats, so that's no longer going to happen. Pets use equip weapon delay instead of standard NPC delay unless it is higher than their native delay. This is a great addition as well. It allows you to use huge things like weighted axe, which normally would have 150 delay and will knock it right down to the standard NPC delay as opposed to having that 150 delay. Or alternatively, if you put something like a twig in their hand, they will actually utilize the twig's delay as opposed to their natural delay. So it makes various different weapons much, much stronger. Pets add their equipped weapon damage to attacks while normalizing their base damage versus their new delay. This is, again, it's just an additive portion of giving them better weapons is going to result in better results. And the synchro satchels have been increased to 4 slots instead of 3, which is pretty amazing. I was able to do all kinds of crazy things with it. I definitely recommend before you doom and gloom this one, you test it out and see how absolutely amazing it is. It is a great, great patch. Mainly, this patch was a way for devs to clean up the fact that a lot of people were losing items for various different reasons. And so they really wanted to focus on making sure that it was just a much more clean process and reduce the amount of tickets due to lost items. But in addition to that, also reduce the amount of different systems that existed on how to manage your pets. Now that it's pretty much a standard right across the board, as opposed to being 3 different standards for all the different pets. Sort of silly. The whole charm handback thing was a part of a retribution season and was never removed for the hero's journey. And as a result, it created some weird interactions and caused some kind of strange issues. Because of that, it was removed. I know some people are upset about this, but trust me, those pet bags are great. Enjoy that new system. It's pretty amazing. This is a system that was entirely created by Cat, and I definitely recommend you checking it out. And if you think it's cool, man, make sure you let them know. No more of these just posting the doom and gloom. Honestly, this is a super cool system. I think people are going to love it once they get their hands on it. And as far as the pet spell damage, the perceived nerf or the perceived adjustment around pets now getting 50% of the owner's spell damage, I think this is a great change. It was actually a bug that was on the server that may have had other interactions with other things. So we just want to make sure that we're being mindful of the fact that it was a bug. It's not a nerf. This is not like a fun detected type situation where they came in and they said, nope, we can't be having this. It's more around the bug and what potentially it could also break further down the road. Thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate it. If you like it, subscribe, take it easy. See you later.